Hey you all, most hi to fellow dressmakers. You're welcome to another interesting tutorial. And on this one, we will be sewing this gorgeous dress with a symmetric built-up neckline, princess bustier, basic sleeve, and the knife pleats that makes up the gown length from the hip line. So in the previous video, I shared the pattern drafting and the cutting tutorial. So if you're yet to see that, I recommend that you do that so that you understand why we have all the pieces we need for this. And after I was done transferring my patterns to the fabric and cutting the lining like I said in the previous video, these are the pieces we have for this dress. This is the back pieces. There's no waist seam, so I just have the two pieces of the fashion fabric and then two pieces of the lining. And this is the skirt for the front. I have the fashion fabric and the lining, and this is the four pieces of the sleeve. That's two pieces of the fashion fabric and two pieces of the lining. And this one here is the side front, which I use same fabric as my lining, and I use cotton estee. I infused both the fashion fabric and the lining with cotton estee. Let me show you what the inside looks like. This one will be my fashion fabric, while this one will be the lining. I infused the wording on the lining because of the kind of fabric I used. I don't want it to reflect on the fashion fabric. And this is the center front, which you can see that I cut it in a way that my neckline that they are aligning. By the time I place the lining on the fashion fabric right side to the right side, the neckline is going to align. So make sure of that. And I also infused wording on the lining against the fashion fabric that we usually do it. But whichever one you choose, either to infuse the wording on your fashion fabric, make sure of the neckline. This is a symmetric neckline, and if you just one mistake, you already messed up the fabric. So just place it in a way that your lining and the fashion fabric that the neckline that they are going to align at the end of the day. Now I'm going to start with the lining, and what I will do here is to just go ahead and pin it down on the under bust like this, and then go ahead and join it like you see my hand moving here. I like to place this side one on the center front because that's the curvier one, so that I can use the center front as a guide while I just tilt the curved one to follow the shape of the center one. Do you understand? So I'll go ahead and join it, then repeat the same thing on my fashion fabric, pin it down on the under bust while I have notch both on the center and on the side, then go ahead and sew it. Then we are going to be turning the sleeves too with the lining. You're going to place your lining like this, and then you sew on the down part. Repeat the same thing with this one, but then there's something I like to do with the lining. I like to take out about half inch, 0.75 or 1 inch, depending on how much I want my fashion fabric to overlay the lining. And after doing that, you see that we have it's no longer equal with the fashion fabric. So I'll just go ahead and sew on the down part, top stitch, then flip it inside and top stitch both the fashion fabric and the lining on the top of the sleeve. I'll repeat the same thing with this other one. I'll go ahead and sew on the down part, top stitch, then flip it inward and top stitch on the top part to hold the fashion fabric and the lining together. Now this is the back pieces. I'm going to just lay them like this. The fashion fabric on top, yeah, and then I'm going to be placing the lining on top of the right side of the fashion fabric. So the neckline, top stitch, then sew the center back and the side seam. I'll repeat the same thing here. Sew the neckline, top stitch on the lining, then I'll sew the center back and the side seam, meaning that you have the shoulder line, the armhole, and the down part open at the end of the day. So after I was done with all of that, I went ahead to iron too, and this is what the lining is looking like, the bust area. Now this is the back pieces which I've turned it out neatly and also ironed it out, and this is the sleeve, which the only thing I would have to do now is to trim off the excess I have on this top part just to make it equal, and then go ahead and get the midpoint of the sleeve, folding it like this. And you see how much my fashion fabric is overlaying the lining, yeah. And then this is the fashion fabric of the top part here. I'll just go ahead and fold it into two like this, get the midpoint, then I'll repeat the same thing with the lining too. I'll fold it into two, I'll get the midpoint this way, and then I'm going to bring in my skirt. That's the fashion fabric here. I'll go ahead and take out just the fashion fabric this way. I already ironed it to create a crease line, and that's the midpoint. So I'm going to match up the midpoint of the skirt to the midpoint of the top part, then go ahead and join it on the waistline like this. Then I'll repeat the same thing with the lining. I'll match it up midpoint to midpoint on the waistline like this. then go ahead and join it there. And after I was done, this is what we have, both the fashion fabric and the lining. And you can see that I'm pressing just as I sew. The next thing now is to turn the neckline. Just match it up like this, pin it down, and then you're going to make it easy for you, extend this part like this. See this end point here? Just extend it to about 1 inch. Then you're going to sew half inch like you see my hand moving here. Just go ahead and mark it if you need to. Use your pencil to mark it so that it comes out neat afterwards. So you're going to just mark it out, then you sew it as you marked it, top stitch on the lining, then you sew the side, yeah, the side seam. Then afterwards, you see me trimming the shoulder line, and this is what it's looking like. The next thing now is to just go ahead and turn the shoulder, and I will be using the back lining to turn the shoulder. Do you understand? So I'm going to just place it like this, fashion fabric to fashion fabric, then I'm going to switch the lining like this. And once I have it accurate in a way that there is going to come out smooth at the end of the day, I'm going to just pin it down immediately, then go ahead and flip the lining like you see me do it here. And afterwards, I'm going to just sew with half inch, just sew with half inch like you see me doing it here. I'll repeat the same thing with the other side. Just make sure you turn it in a way that it's going to be neat at the end of the day, and not one side popping out in a way it should not be popping out. So this is how smooth it came out after I was done, and you're going to iron it so that it even help with the neatness. The next thing I'll do now is to just go ahead and fold it like this, match up waistline to waistline. Even though there is no waist seam on the back, you just go ahead and match it up like this, then you trim off the armhole just to make it equal like you see me doing it here. And then I'm going to be doing the final measurement, which is closing the side, but I'm just doing the measurement. So you're going to do your bust circumference divided by 2. You mark it, and then you measure what you have left from that point to the side seam. Divide what you measured into 2 equal halves and mark it on both sides like this. Then on the waistline, the waist measurement divided by 2, I'll mark it, then measure what I have from that point to the side seam, divide it into 2 equal halves and shade it on both sides. Then on the hip line, you're doing your hip circumference divided by 2 plus 1 inch. And then you're going to measure what you have left, share that into 2 equal halves and mark it on both sides. Then I'm going to be connecting the waist measurement to the hip measurement on both sides like this. Then connect from the bust measurement to the waist measurement on both sides, just as you can see me do it here. And after doing that, I'm going to take out all the pins so that I'll go ahead and fix my sleeve. It will just be easier for me this way, so that immediately after fixing the sleeve, I'll just go ahead and follow the marked measurement and close the side seam. So I'll basically go ahead and trim the armhole proper like you see me doing it here. Then I'm going to be sewing the sleeve, match up the midpoint of the sleeve to the shoulder joining. Then you join it to the two sleeves and close it on the two sides. Now let's talk about the knife pleats. And for that, what you're going to do is to determine the width of your pleat. Mine, I used 1 inch, so each pleat comes with a 1 inch width. When you measure each pleat, you have 1 inch, and you will need 3 inches for one pleat. Do you understand? So what you are going to do now is to do 3 times the circumference you're working with, or where you're fixing your knife pleat to. In this case, is the hip line. So I'm going to do 3 times 38, which is my hip line. Or go ahead and measure it on the top part that you're already done with. Go ahead and measure the hip line there, or where your knife pleat will be going. Whatever it is you have, you're going to do 3 times that value. Do you understand? Mine is 38, and 3 times 38 is giving me 114, which I should have at least 120, because I like to have excess instead of shortage. So I'm going to just add another fabric to this one because this wasn't up to 120 or even 114. Then the next first thing you're going to do on the fabric, after hemming it and ironing it, once you cut out your fabric, go ahead and hem it, like fold the down part and iron it smoothly. Then you're going to mark about 1 inch or half inch that you'll be using to close it on the center back. Do you understand? Once you mark that, you're not going to mark your 1 inch intervals. I say that each of my pleats is 1 inch width. That's the wideness of the each pleat is 1 inch, and I need 3 inches for it. So what I will just do here is to just mark my 1 inch intervals, and then after doing it on this top part, I'm going to repeat the same thing on this down part. First, I'm marking 1 inch that I will use to close it on the center back. Yeah, because I worked with a 1 inch zipper allowance. So yeah, after marking it on the top part and on the down part, you're going to have something like this. Now you're going to start pleating. You're going to leave the first 1 inch, which is the one we'll be using to close it on the center back. Then you pick on the second one and place it on the fourth one. So you're leaving the first one, then you pick it on the second one. That's the second 1 inch, and then you place it on the fourth one. After this one, it will make sense because we are talking about fourth one because of the zipper allowance, that 1 inch zipper allowance. Now you're picking it on the second line you see, and then you place it on the fourth one. Then you're going to pin it down. Pin it on the top and on the down and then on the midpoint. Then you're going to iron it. If you want to, you can decide to just iron each pleat as you create it if you want to. But then I like to fold to some extent or pleat to some extent before I go ahead and iron. Now you're picking it on the other line that you see, and then you place it on the third one and pin it down, both on the top and on the down and even on the middle. And like I said earlier, go ahead and hem this, fold it on the down part and iron it to be flat because it will be easier for you to work with it like that instead of trying to hem it after doing your pleats. Then you're going to pick from here to here. Just pick from the next one to the third one. That makes it the 3 inches you need for one pleat. Do you understand? These 3 inches we're working with is because the wideness of each pleat is 1 inch. If you want it to be 1.5, that means you will need 4.5 for each pleat, and you're going to do 4.5 times your hip circumference to cut out the wideness of the fabric you need for this. Do you understand? Then you're going to, once you pleat and place it, go ahead and pin it down immediately on the top, in the middle, and on the down part. Then you're simply going to continue like that. You pleat and then you pin it down. Once you're done with each pleat, you take it from the next line you see and place it on the third one. That's, you pick it on the next marking you see, you skip the other marking and place it on the other one, just as you can see me do it here. It's pretty much easy to do. It's time consuming, but it's also fun to do. So go ahead and repeat it like that. Like I said, you can decide to iron each pleat. Once you pleat, you iron it, but what I will do now is to just sprinkle water and then place this cotton fabric and sprinkle another water, then use my charcoal iron because I'm using charcoal iron. I recommend that you use steaming iron if you have the means, but then since I'm not using a steaming iron, I just sprinkle water, then use my charcoal iron, place it on where I sprinkled water, leave it there for a few seconds, and then shift it to another place and also leave it there for a few seconds before I shift it again to another point until I can no longer see the water. Then I'll turn it to the back like this and then go ahead and iron it, which is like steam pressing. That's what I'm doing, and that's what you should do so that the pleat takes shape. Yeah, so that the pleat takes the shape that you need it to take. After that, you're now going to iron on the right side again. You're doing your pleat on the right side. I forgot to mention that. You're doing it on the right side, please. So now you can decide to iron and leave it until it cool down before you take out the pin. But I wanted to show you what it looks like. That's why you see me take out the pins. But then leave it like that until it cools down so that, yeah, you know that the pleats have formed nicely. And then you're going to just repeat the same thing I just shared until you get to the end of your markings or you exhaust the fabric you cut out for your pleats. Then after that, the next thing will be doing now is to just go ahead and join it to the hip line. And for that, you're going to trim off any excess fabric. Then you go ahead and stitch down these pleats on the top part. You're going to stitch it down just to hold them together. And then you're also going to repeat the same thing here on the hip line. Stitch it down to hold the fashion fabric and the lining. Then you go ahead and fix your pleat on that hip line. Since you calculated it well, it's going to just match up with what you have there. Then once you're done, you're going to close it on the center back from where you want your zipper to stop, and then you're going to just close it from that point. Fix your zipper on the space you left for it. And that's pretty much about it for this particular tutorial. I couldn't film the finished look, like flat look, but yeah, this is what it looks like on my body. And yeah, that's pretty much how you go about this particular tutorial. I hope you found it very helpful. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments and I'll do it to respond to you. And with that, I'll be seeing you on my next one.